friends, what's happening? What's shaking? What's going on? This is Andy coming to you again from here at Andy's World of Bass, and it's time for another cool demo. Today I'm really happy to demo for you the brand new GRBASS Dual 1400 head. I just got it, just got shipped to me. It was custom built for me by Gianfranco and all my friends at GRBASS in Italy, and I tried it out at the 2019 NAMM show, and I was absolutely blown away by the flexibility, features, and awesome power of this head. So today I'm just going to tell you about it and show you some of the applications. Okay, so it's 1400 watts. It has two channels. One of the channels has drive on it, the other does not. It has two speak-on power speaker connections on the back, and each one can be run down to 2.6 ohms. It has two master volumes. So pretty much infinitely any cabinet configuration can be pushed with this head. I'm going to be running it with two 4-ohm 212 cabinets. They've built me another one of these GR212 cabinets, and it's being shipped right now, air freight. So when it gets here, when I'm doing my big outdoor festivals this summer, I'll be able to use this head and have two 4-ohm 212 cabinets with it. But because each power section output can go down to 2.7 ohms, that offers you a lot of different possibilities in terms of the amount of speakers that you can push. Pretty much anything, you know what I mean? So in terms, that's how the power is distributed. In terms of the EQ, it has 4-band EQs with two 4-band EQs with selectable mid-range dips. It has a drive section, as I mentioned, which is on a blend control over here. And you just simply, you can bring it in. And in various degrees, if you just want a little bit. You know, a little bit of drive mixed in with your clean sound, or if you want full-on drive. You know, that can be a really cool thing when you use it subtly, I think. Maybe even a little less blended in there. Okay, so that's one thing that you could do, is you could play, you could have one instrument plugged in and switch between the two channels. It also has this channel switching pedal board that comes with it, which enables you to switch between the two channels. Now, the way I have it set up right now is pretty cool, is that if I'm on the gig where I play fretless on some songs and I play fretted on the others, I can click it into mute, put my fretted bass down, pick up my fretless bass, switch it over to channel 1, turn up the volume. So now I'm in channel 1, and I can have a completely different EQ structure and gain structure for the fretless bass. The other thing that's very, very cool is that each channel has its own DI out on the back of it. So you can send two DIs to front of house, and the front of house engineer can have one EQ, one gain structure and EQ structure for your fretless bass, and one for your fretted bass, or whatever. One for your upright bass, one for your electric bass. So front of house now has two completely independent DI signals coming off of the two different instruments. That's a very, very cool thing. It also has a headphone amplifier for practicing with a volume control. It has a variety of different LED options that blink and flash, and it has a built-in tuner. If you don't want to use the foot switch, you can use the channel selection switch here, It does also have the pure sound mode, which enables you to bypass the EQ altogether. Or you can engage the EQ. I like the EQ for cutting, you know, I kind of tend to, you know, move everything back from noon a little bit. I never boost anything. So now I'm done with my fretless song. I put my fretless down carefully. And I grab my fretted bass again. You know, take it off mute. Switch it over to channel 2. And I'm ready to rock it, you know. Incidentally, this is my MG Signature Series Africa 5, built for me by Mauricio Costa, and it has the Nordstrand big Blade Man pickups in it. Right now, the EQ is completely bypassed; it's in passive mode. Okay, so the bass isn't really influencing the sound that's going into the amplifier. You're hearing the amp. There's no EQ booster or anything going on the bass. In terms of the cabinet, it's a lightweight Neo driver cabinet, very loud and very punchy, tight, crisp, as you can see. Super articulate, you know, it's just a great sounding rig. Really complements this bass well. That's just the front pickup on the bass, kind of a more of a traditional sound. Took me a while to warm up to the idea of these digital lightweight amplifiers. To be honest, I really didn't like any of them at first. And when I say at first, I mean years ago. But I've come to a point where I can honestly say that Ice Power, the people that make the power module that everybody's using, have evolved it and have improved it, and it really does a good job. I can't really say anything negative about it. I still believe that the big ones are the better ones. This one's a 1400. The 800 is killing as well. And but I don't like the little ones. You know, I don't like the little Ice Power modules that they kind of internally bridge and claim that they're getting 400 watts or whatever. They just have to struggle too hard to do any real serious work. Now, of course, those little ones are probably fine for rehearsing and through a 112 cab or something, and just a low volume jazz gig or something. Probably fine for that. But I like the ones that go from 800 watts and up. And now this one I have 1400 watts. It's going to, as I said in the beginning, it's going to enable me to push two 4-ohm 212 cabinets on my big kind of bigger shows. I do most of my bigger shows in the summer, most of the outdoor festivals and things like that, where I need to move some air and fill up some space in an outdoor environment on stage. So I can have a nice little nice bubble that extends around the vicinity of where I'm performing, so I can feel the bass and you know, I can really hear myself clearly. I don't do a lot of EQ hyping. I never have and I never will. I don't boost the bass on the amplifier and I don't boost the bass on the guitar very often. If I do, it's only a little bit. I tend to have a really kind of noon, kind of flat kind of sound, so that I can hear myself evenly wherever I play on the neck. I like a sound that I can switch between playing with my fingers to slapping without having to make any adjustments. I don't like having to constantly be fiddling around on the bass. I like one sound where I can do all my If I do anything, I mess with the blend control, bring it to the back pickup, and I can get a little bit more mid-range throat that jumps through for harmonics and stuff, or chordal stuff. But for the most part, that's my sound right there. Both pickups all the way up, and then I take the front pickup and roll it back just a little bit. Okay, so there you have it. There's my first demo with the GRBASS Pure Sound Dual 1400 watt head. Comes with the channel switching pedal board, which has like a 10-foot, it's kind of like a USB connectability. And yeah, 2 channels, 2 basses, 2 completely independent DIs coming out of the back of it, 2 power section outputs, and each one will go down to 2.6, 2.7 ohms, whatever it is. The mute, puts it into mute mode. I think that just about covers everything for now. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching all the videos. And I encourage you to check out GRBASS. If you're in the United States, they do have a United States distributor now. This stuff is all here, right down in Texas, and waiting for you to order it. The pricing is very, competitive in terms of the other amps in the market that are similar to this, that are at a similar power rating and with 2 channels and everything like that. So, where you kind of, where the benefits are in the features, having the drive, having the 2 channels, having the 2 DIs, having the massive amount of power, all that kind of stuff is what you're getting. So when you're looking for an amplifier and what kind, and you're kind of, excuse me, when you're kind of determining which features you need and are going to be best for you in your live performance situation, definitely want to consider this one, because it's competitively priced and offers, in some ways, it offers some things that other people don't, that's different and very, very cool. Like for me, having the 2 bass option is very cool. And the other thing that I could do is if I'm on a gig, I could use 1 bass, and I could have 1 channel set up with drive and 1 channel without. So when I switch, I would be switching to the drive channel. I could have a completely different kind of sound on that channel. And yeah, what a great sounding amplifier. It just sounds great, and I'm not doing much with the EQ, like I said. On the fretless channel, all I have done is cut the treble a little bit, and on the fretted 5-string channel, I cut the both mid controls ever so slightly, and that's all I did, is do some cutting with the EQ. The volume right now is on like 1, maybe 1, yeah, 1. And, this one doesn't even do anything because I only have 1 speaker hooked up to it. So, the gains are at about 2. So this thing, I mean, it's got so much volume, so much power, so much headroom. Before I go, I will say that the thing about headroom is that even if you don't need it, it's good to have it, because you do need it. The place that you need it is when you have transient peaks. When you're playing along at a moderate volume, at a moderate dynamic, where you're kind of just in the idle zone, where you're just grooving within the framework of the song and just playing a supportive part. the majority of the time the amp is just kind of, it's not having to work very hard. But occasionally when you have a little you know, like accents and things like that happen naturally in the playing, and you're doing little accents in your playing, and you grab a little accent, or maybe you pull the string and do a small little slapping passage or something like that, or you really need to dig in down low on a big hit, you know, or something like that. That's where headroom comes in. That's where you need that reserve power, because you need that transient, and you need it fast, and you need it now. And that is where, when you have an abundance of back-end headroom power, you'll never have that situation where you have amplifier clipping, or where you have this kind of denial, where you go to do something and it's sounding really great in the kind of the place where you're playing real soft, but as soon as you have to dig in, it starts making horrible sounds. You know what I mean? Like, it just sends clipping, it sends digital clipping down through the speakers and everything like that. That's what happens with the little ones. But when you have lots of headroom, there's no sponginess, there's no denial, there's no speaker fart out, etc., etc., etc. So, there you have it. There's my demo for you. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. Rock on.